Welcome to Nerdblaze, your source for fiery entertainment news.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Nerdblaze podcast.
Nerdblaze.
Your one-stop shop for fiery news. We're excited for this. I'm Jacoby.
And I'm Jeff.
Oh boy, and we got some cool stuff to talk about, I guess. Mainly Comic-Con's going on, and we're not cool enough to attend Comic-Con, unfortunately. Well, maybe one day. Did you ever want to attend Comic-Con?
Definitely. I do. I think I want to go at least once, and maybe only once, because I feel like most of Comic-Con is just waiting in lines and stuff. Yeah. And I'm not really like a super fan of anything at the moment that I'd be willing to wait that long in line for just to see some trailer or whatever. But yeah, I do want to go see all the cool costumes. What about you?
I want to go, but if like the population attending was like cut in half.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like there's so many people, there's so much going on, and I'd be so disappointed with myself in a sense, because I'll see all these cool costumes and I'll basically show up in like a Batman t-shirt because I'm not creative enough to make my own costume.
No, that's pretty good. Batman t-shirt. That's like a step above not trying at all. So that's fine. That's fine.
I'm above the threshold.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit there. But I see some of the costumes coming out of there. They're just like, they're so damn cool.
They're always so cool. I'm really jealous of that. And these people, they spend like the whole year up to that point, like making these costumes, and I really admire them for that. I think what I would do is I would dress up as you know, like Ryo from Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's a pretty. He's the one with the he's the one with the head tie.
Yeah. So I would dress up as him, and then I'd carry around like a sack of like blue balls, and I would just throw them at people because those would be like my Hadokens, you know, just like toss them at people.
That's solid costume right there.
I'd be that guy. Throwing blue balls at people with the blue balls.
You're giving people blue balls.
Yeah.
That's what your thing.
Yeah. That's my thing.
Yeah, I wish I could go to Comic-Con one day, maybe, if the process gets easier, but I guess we'll see. But the cool thing about Comic-Con, I guess, now is that they release a lot of their stuff online. So we don't really have to attend to see all the neat stuff. Sure, there's a lot of cool things that we won't be privy to that they don't want to release. But the stuff they have released, I think, is pretty cool. I mean, of course, the two biggest panels usually are Marvel and DC.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess if we just want to let's talk about the Marvel panel and all that fun stuff.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it here at Nerdblaze.
Yeah, shall we start with the Thor Ragnarok trailer?
Thor Ragnarok. I keep saying it Thor Ragnarok, and I can't pronounce it to save my life. What did you think of the trailer?
I think it looks awesome. Like I haven't seen the first two Thors because Thor as a character doesn't really interest me. You know, like just a random Thunder Norse god. And I just feel like compared to the other characters, he just seems less compelling because he's literally a god. Which I guess they kind of changed the mythos of that they're like technologically advanced or whatever. But still, that's kind of the idea of Thor as a character. So I didn't really care much for him. But this trailer really makes me want to actually see a Thor movie because it's got that badass 80s synth music. It's got that, like, you know, when they show the Marvel logo and when they show the Thor Ragnarok movie title, it's all like 80s and like really retro and colorful. And it looks fun. And Thor and Hulk, they look like a good pair. I like how they're just putting Hulk into a movie as like a buddy character. I think that's like a really effective way of having Hulk in a movie. And,
to use him, absolutely.
Yeah, and it looks fun. It looks like a fun like a team movie because like Thor, he's gonna bring together a team and he's gonna fight the goddess of death and yeah, it looks fun. It looks like a fun space adventure, kind of a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque vibe about it.
Oh, definitely. It's like the other two Thor movies. Like, the first one I like. It's like okay. The second one isn't very good. I think the second one's the weakest of all like the MCU movies. So then they're just like, what can we do to make this better? And they're just like, well, let's
throw into space.
Make it Yeah, and just make it like Guardians of the Galaxy. You know that movie? That movie was a hit for us.
Yeah.
Let's just do that again, except with Thor.
And
now he has like his own team made up of Hulk. As you're right, they're like throwing Hulk in there just like randomly, just because they're like, where else can we put his character? His character doesn't fit in any movies. Like, why not with Thor? And we'll probably get the closest we'll ever get to like a Planet Hulk storyline, which is like
I've heard of that
storyline that fans have been like clamoring to see, but we'll never see because I don't think we'll ever see a Hulk standalone movie. But
and that's fine.
This is the way. Yeah, it's fine if he's like this, and used correctly. And now, so he's part of the team. He with Thor had good banter in the first movie. I mean, they were fun. So just like, why not put them together? And they're joined, I think, by of course Loki, who is doing.
He's
his
always
Loki
in a Thor
thing,
movie.
I guess.
People love the Loki.
I think people would more turn out for a Loki movie than a Thor movie.
Yeah, definitely. Is the Loki craze still going? Is there still Loki hype going on? I feel like he was really popular.
He is.
Okay,
and I
cool.
think he is still really popular. I think he's probably the only reason why Thor: The Dark World did as well, and he's a villain that MCU just is the only really well developed villain like after like more than one movie.
Yeah, that's true. They should do more of that. Do more well developed villains.
They should. But Loki's, and then they're joined by, it looks like, new warrior Valkyrie, who's who looks badass, who rounds out their fearsome foursome, I guess.
Yeah, she's got that like painting on her face, and she's got swords. She's on a Pegasus at one point. That's pretty cool. Never seen that before.
I haven't either. What was your favorite part of the trailer?
My favorite part of the trailer, probably the part at the very end where I think her name's Helen or something, Helena or whatever, the goddess of death. She's like, I'm the goddess of death. What were you the god of again? And it just shows Thor kind of like smashing down. He's got like lightning coursing all throughout him. And I don't know. I mean, so apparently he loses his hammer. So I guess we got to kind of figure out like how does he get his powers back? Are his powers through the hammer, or like I don't know. What's up with that?
That's an excellent question. I'm sure a lot of it's funneled through his hammer. But no, he can still do a lot of things. He's still strong. He's still a warrior. He's still trained as a god. He just can't wield the mighty Mjolnir.
Mjolnir?
Yeah.
I think he's going to find out that the hammer was inside him the whole time.
Oh, that's so sweet. Just in this Marvel sentimentality. Yeah, but I do like that line that when she said, she's like, "I'm the goddess of death," because like before that she was just like, I'm not a monster. I'm not a villain. I'm the goddess of death.
Yeah. I think this is a cool villain. I think she's going to be really fun because I think it seems like they're kind of going all out with this. Like she's got that crazy costume. They're not afraid to shy away from like the weird spiky headdress that she's wearing. Yeah. And she just seems like super ridiculous and like revels in being evil, and I think that's great. I think interesting villains kind of got to go one of two ways. Either like you love watching them on screen, basically, is the main thing, and you love watching them on screen. One, because either they just love being evil, or they're actually kind of like a well-developed character, interesting, complex, that kind of thing. And I think she's more going towards the loves being evil thing. But
yeah, she did. It's interesting. I don't know if they're gonna go this way, but it's like in the comics, Thanos is the big bad of this MCU who's showing up. His whole desire for the Infinity Gauntlet is to impress death, is to win over death, because he's in love with death. That's why in the first Avengers movie, in the Stinger, when we introduce Thanos, it's like, why are you doing this? To do this would be to court death. And then Thanos smiles. It's because Thanos is in love with death. So
it's a love story, really.
Yeah, so
it's a romantic comedy.
Yeah, Thanos is just trying to win the girl that he loves, and who wears spiky, weird headdresses.
Now that is a well-developed, complex villain that loves being evil. So
yeah, so it's both of those things.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the trailer?
My favorite part of the trailer, I guess it's like I laughed at the line at the very beginning when he's like, so what's new with me? I lost my hammer. That happened yesterday, so that's still pretty fresh, and I like that because it's like they're making Thor a little quirkier than they have. Like, the first trailer and then this trailer really hammers home, like in the first trailer when he's like, he's a friend from work, and this trailer, it's like all of his lines. He's kind of goofy.
Yeah, he's lightening up. He's lightening up, and I think like I haven't seen the first two Thor movies, but My impression is that he's probably the more serious of the Marvel MCU heroes. Is that true? Like,
Yeah,
at least
he's
up until
kind
now.
of over the top, and he's Shakespearean.
Yeah, there we go. He's Shakespearean. I think Marvel's just realizing that, like, that looks not too good for any of our characters. So
Yeah,
maybe
give him
make
a
it more
damn
fun.
haircut.
Yeah, give him a haircut. You know, make it more fun. Make him tell funny jokes. Oh, put him in that YouTube video. You saw that YouTube video, right? Where he was
Yeah,
he was
the
taking
one-
a break and he's got like a roommate. He's just like
Yeah,
chilling.
with his friend like Daryl. I think his
Daryl,
name
yeah.
was. Yeah, he's trying to solve the Civil War conflict.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
He's a funny guy when he can be. I'm glad that Marvel is going about that way. I guess my problem with Thor movie just like seems like there's going to be so much happening. Like I don't know how they're going to pace everything because like it seems from what we know of the story, it's like the goddess of death is going to come to Asgard. She's going to destroy it. It looks like she banishes Thor somehow. After using his hammer, he winds up on this war world type place. He's forced to battle. He meets the Hulk. Him and Hulk come to an understanding, and then they probably break out to go back to Asgard. On the way, they meet Loki, and there's a scene in if you saw Doctor Strange that that Thor goes to Earth with Loki to look for Odin for some reason. So it's like we have Doctor Strange is in
that's
Thor
right.
too.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
So then we're gonna have a detour on Earth with Thor and Loki meeting Doctor Strange, and then they must probably go back to like reclaim Asgard in a way to defeat them. So it just seems like there's like a lot going on in this Thor movie, which is great. I mean, it's probably gonna be very quick and jumpy and stylish, but it's like I'm afraid they're not going to give enough time for these beats to kind of land.
Yeah, it seems more like it is going to be kind of like a very punchy, fast-paced movie, and that's completely fine. I think a fun Thor movie is something that maybe a lot of people that they haven't really done yet. I mean, the first two, like you said, probably more Shakespearean. I haven't seen it, so you can correct me. But like, it just seems like they're going with like a really fun vibe with this, and that means things are going to be going like this, like snap, 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 and that's good. It's I'm sure we'll still like. There's probably not going to be a lot of like kind of heavy emotional beats, but I think it's going to be a good buddy movie, a good Thor Hulk buddy movie.
Me too. Oh yeah, and then I forgot. Of course, after it seems like because like Ragnarok is the apocalypse and the end of all things. That's what like Ragnarok really means. But like in this Ragnarok storyline, they fight the fire demon Soltar, and he's even seen in the very last shot of the trailer with like the Hulk jumping down about to smash him. So it's like another aspect of the film that I guess has to be serviced and done correctly. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to see it.
So we keep saying Thor and Hulk would be good buddies together. So I'm wondering, it's like, is there another hero that you would want to see paired up with him instead of Hulk, or with them? Like who'd be good?
That's a good question. I really like Captain America, so I think Captain America paired with any other superhero would be pretty interesting. I mean, because Captain America, he's just a dude. I mean, I guess the other superheroes are basically just dudes, but Captain America, he doesn't really have any superpowers other than kind of being a super soldier. So I think kind of seeing the two of them team up and see how they would like think through their problems and like attack their issues in different ways would be kind of fun.
Oh my god, I just thought of something like really awesome. That's like that would set up like an awesome movie. I think like okay, just imagine he's in like a gladiatorial pit, right? Thor is, and he's there, and like the Hulk comes out, and Thor is and Thor is fighting a big creature, like not the Hulk, but someone who's losing against, and then he somehow bargains his way to like get a teammate, right? This Grandmaster has like weird powers. He's like, okay, we can transport someone, and he's like, I want an Avenger. And he's like, great. And so like the Grandmaster presses the buttons, and like Hulk, and then Thor's like, you're in trouble now, and then appears, and then it's like Hawkeye. And like Hawkeye appears next to him, just like randomly, like zapped from Earth, and then has to be paired with Thor. And Thor's upset that it's Hawkeye and not any of the superpowered people. And like, and then the rest of the movie is just Thor and Hawkeye. And like Hawkeye doesn't like when he appears, like he doesn't have his bow and arrow. He's in like civilian clothes.
Yeah.
So he's just like, so now they have to team up, and then you get more Hawkeye time.
Yeah.
But in this crazy space.
I like it. That's ripe for comedy. I think adding Hawkeye into anything makes things ripe for comedy. Right. Just add Hawkeye. Just pair Hawkeye with a different superhero, And then it's like, I'm just a guy with a bow. How am I gonna compete with this? And then he just thinks of his way out of it. Does something cool. Cracks a few jokes. Yeah.
Cracks a few. Yeah, you can choose there pretty well. Yes, overall, how excited are you for Thor Ragnarok now?
I'm really excited. I want to see it. Haven't seen a Thor movie before. This will be my first one. And like I said, just wasn't interested in the character before seeing this. But now I want to see where this goes.
Me too. I think it's going to be a worthy addition to the MCU. And it's going to be the lead up, basically, into Infinity War. So we'll see how much setup this has to do. Which will be interesting. Other, I guess, trailers. The one that everyone's Marvel, the rival competitor DC, they released a ton of footage. The one they released online to us public is the Justice League trailer, the 4-minute sneak peek one.
That's the Justice League theme.
Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah, that has uniting the 7, but really, I guess it's only 6 because there's only 6 of them in this first trailer. What'd you think of that one? That 4-minute long exclusive clip.
Every time I see a DC trailer, I'm just like, it's probably gonna be shit. Just because, because all the DC trailers have been really, really good, but the movies haven't really matched how good the trailers were, except for Wonder Woman, or so I hear, and I really want to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, like Man of Steel, when that first came out,
my God,
everyone
that trailer
was
is
like,
amazing.
It's an amazing trailer. It gets you really pumped up, but then the movie really didn't match it. And then they went straight into Batman v Superman, and then people were like, "Oh, is this a little too fast?" And then they saw the trailer, and it was like, "Oh, it looks great. Oh man, it's awesome." And yeah, that again, really good trailer. Movie, and so Wonder Woman did pretty good. Suicide Squad also was kind of like
Suicide Squad had I hated Suicide Squad. I thought Suicide Squad was just a really poorly put together movie after having one of the best marketing campaigns of any movie. Like last year, when Suicide Squad came out, it was like that, and Deadpool was like the year of really solid marketing campaigns with like all these trailers being great, all being everything about it looked awesome, and then the movie came out and Suicide Squad was just a hunk of garbage.
Yeah, so basically DC's track record is great trailers, great marketing, movies are okay, and I'm still kind of skeptical about this movie because they're stuffing in a lot of superheroes, and this is going to be like their first introduction into the DC cinematic universe. Just right off the bat, they're already superheroes. They're already a team, and I just think that maybe that won't work so well. I mean, I see it 2 ways. I think one, it's kind of they're rushing it too fast because DC wants to cash in on this franchise really quickly. But on the other hand, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as you kind of know the gist of the superheroes, maybe we're past the point of like doing origin stories of superheroes. I mean, I feel like those have been done so much now that I think maybe it's right that they're just pushing them into the Justice League. So I don't know. What do you think?
We've had origin stories up the wazoo for like the last 10 years, and we don't really want origin stories much. We don't really need origin stories. We get a lot of these characters in the sense. So I think DC's approach is interesting and a way to throw it in. Let's just hope they service everyone correctly. I mean, from that trailer, we got a kind of a good sense of almost everybody. We got, of the new characters introduced, we have Aquaman, who just basically looks like a dude bro in a sense of, and it's just like, yeah, we're going to die. And he looks like, a mixture of Drax and Wolverine in a sense. He's like a rock and roll dude. We have the Flash, who looks like to be, the sense of humor in the movie, like the Flash normally is. And he had a lot. I liked both of his lines. I thought were really funny in the trailer. I know you guys are like fighters, but I really just like push people and then run away.
I did. I like that too. That was cool.
Yeah, and then his great line when it's just like when Gordon turns around and all they're gone, and he's like, "Oh, did they just leave? It's
a little rude.
That's rude."
Yeah.
and then he runs
leaves,
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like bye.
Yeah.
So Flash is like the heart, and he'll be the humor of it. And then with Cyborg, we didn't get much of Cyborg in the trailer. Like, we don't know much about him so far, but which is weird. I always thought Cyborg was a weird inclusion into the Justice League, just because I think a lot of people our age, grew up with Cyborg and the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And not a Justice League
member. Not as a core league member. Yeah, it is a little weird.
Yeah, but Everything else, yeah, is just like, worlds under siege, and they all have to team together and band up. And as Batman says in the trailer, it's like, we all got issues that are holding us back, which I don't know what Wonder Woman's issues are or what Batman's issues are. But I'm sure they'll invent something, because like Wonder Woman seemed pretty well formed. I don't know. What do you think Wonder Woman's issue could be?
I think she's maybe she has a poor social life, not good work-life balance. Maybe that's her issue.
She has to figure that out.
Yeah.
She has to manage her career and her passion.
Exactly.
That's the arc they're going to give Wonder Woman after making her so strong in Wonder Woman herself. I guess the biggest thing about that trailer is the ending, right? When
the water starts moving. Oh wait, that's not water. That's like whiskey or something. Ooh,
yeah, it's like something in a glass.
Ooh, the water is
up,
moving.
and then Alfred says, "He said you'd come. Let's hope it's not too late." And then it's cut away. It's like the most obvious assumption is that that's Superman.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows Superman's coming back, like in the marketing and stuff. Not in the market, just like Henry Cavill's like in the movie, and they tease that he's in the movie. They know he's in the movie. Most everyone knows that he's in the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that it's him and not somebody else, because just like the line that is a little confusing to me is his first line. He said you'd come, and I don't know who he could be referring to. Like
it would definitely have to be Batman, wouldn't it? Bruce Wayne, yeah.
Yeah, but in that situation, did I don't understand how that context come. Does Bruce Wayne know that Superman's going to rise up, or does Superman rise up in the middle of the movie and like not want to help because he's, I don't know, amnesia or something, or he's no longer the world's protector?
Okay, I have a theory about this. I think it's that I think Bruce Wayne knows that Superman isn't really dead, and they probably made a plan where they're like, so Superman, just chill for a bit. He's probably recovering, even though he's still alive. Maybe he's injured. He's still kind of, he has to rest up a bit. Get some of that TLC in,
From the sun,
and Batman
from our red sun,
exactly,
or yellow sun.
And Batman's like, just relax for a bit. And I'm gonna assemble the team, and when you feel ready, Just come on in, surprise the whole team, and I'll just pretend that you're dead the whole time because we gotta make sure that this team can work without you, because you're the most powerful man in the world, and so we gotta make sure that even without you, we're still a force to be reckoned with. And so
in that situation, Batman is sacrificing the fate of the world just to make sure his team works.
That's a very Batman move, isn't it? Wouldn't you think? Like. It just seems like it is like a gamble that he would be willing to take because he's Batman. He's probably like, I could do this without these guys anyways. I'm Batman, but gotta make sure there's a good team.
See, the way I see it is that the way that this trailer is painted is just like Superman was a symbol and like to inspire people, which is actually complete bullshit. Yeah. Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are based on the foundation that everyone was scared of.
Yeah,
Superman.
when did he ever do that?
Yeah, when did he become the hero that everyone looked up to?
That's
it's like,
when
that's not. Yeah, that disregards the points of your last two movies.
Yeah,
but
that's when I
like, oh, now that he's kind of like, damn it, he was our hero. It's like, no, he was not. Don't act like you treated him well.
When he said that in the trailer, my eyebrow raised like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
Sure? See, this is the problem. This is like them jumping the gun too much. It's like if they had a proper Superman movie where maybe he actually was the symbol for hope, because I never saw him as the symbol for hope. He was just the guy that destroyed things. And like you said, people were really pissed off at him and scared of him and stuff. Which they should be. That's actually pretty rational fear, I'd say.
Yeah, especially in today's time. That's what I like. I respect the movie for. It's like, even though I don't agree, like I really wanted a more traditional Superman movie.
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder really did make a Superman movie about how people would react nowadays if someone like Superman showed up, like how we would respond. So it's like, it's accurate, but that doesn't mean I wanted to watch that movie.
Yeah, and it came out at a time when the Nolan Batman universe was super successful. So they're like, yeah, that's the recipe for a good superhero movie, for a good DC superhero movie is. We got to be dark. We got to be realistic, and I guess you can't really blame Snyder for that. I think that's probably what anyone would have done with a Superman movie, actually, just given the times.
Yeah.
But
so that's what I think is going to happen, because this trailer is trying to bank on the fact that like Superman was like the world's savior, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like, the first act of the movie, or first half of the movie, is going to have to be them coming together and try to be inspiring like Superman. But then like the midpoint of the movie, the twist is that Superman rises and he has and he's different. He's slightly changed from his death, and he has no desire to help anybody anymore. So then it's like, oh shit, it's like our beacon of hope that we were basing around and trying to form a team around, doesn't want to actually do this, isn't the symbol of hope. So then it's forcing them to be, fight without their leader who they idealized, in the sense. And then of course Superman turns up at the end, and then that's when, I guess the clue in that line is Alfred's like kind of pause. It's like, he said you'd come, let's hope. And he pauses slightly. You're not too late, because hope is, Superman. It's like the S on his chest, and these means hope, and for the House of Jor-El. So it could be that.
What I'm confused about is, so why is the water trembling like that? Like, did Superman get really fat, and like whenever he steps now, like the whole world just shakes?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird, right?
It is very weird. So it's like, if they're doing something, maybe he like just landed or something, or he's still like the world is reacting around him. Like that's how, like when he first flew in Superman in Man of Steel, like he's doing his launch, and it's like he's pushing the earth kind of.
Oh
the
yeah.
elements kind of react to him, like the rocks float and stuff.
I guess.
I don't know what they're doing. It was a weird thing for that to be like rumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Outside choices for that to be, if that's not Superman. The only other option could possibly be maybe Green Lantern.
Wow,
that'd
be awesome.
They teased a Green, because like in the trailer, we know from a production standpoint, a Green Lantern Corps movie is coming later in the future. Yep. We know that's there. It's in production. I think on the Comic-Con, like their banner of stuff, like all 7 heroes, you see a picture of Hal Jordan in the background. It's weird. It's like the initial character posters when these were all first announced, when Justice League was first announced, was like Unite the 7, but with Superman, Batman, Cyborg, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Flash, it's only 6. So it's like they still do need one more.
And that's weird, because the Green Lantern movie, I heard was good. They were going to do like the three Green Lanterns and the Green Lantern Corps, right?
Yeah, the one who's been, and they confirmed that, I guess, over Comic-Con. That's like, we know that Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are going to be part of the Green Lantern Corps movie.
Yeah, okay. Who's the third guy? Is it going to be Guy Gardner?
I guess maybe it hasn't. I guess they're still deciding between Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner, which I think Kyle Rayner is a much more interesting choice than Guy. Guy's kind of a dick.
Yeah, Kyle Rayner. He's the one that turns into the White Lantern, right?
I think so.
Or is that Hal Jordan still? Actually, I don't know.
They all probably, maybe they could. I'm not sure. There's a lot of lanterns out there.
Yeah.
But even in this Justice League trailer, like there's a line like Steppenwolf, the film's villain. It's just like no Kryptonian, no lanterns, no protectors, basically. So he mentions that he name checks the Green Lantern.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
A Green Lantern appearance may not be too far behind in this film. I'm hoping there's like what I really hope is not, it's like it's like an all horrible misdirect. It's like that line he's talking to is just like Cyborg or someone, because there's got to be someone in the team who is like not as invested in being in the team,
reluctant to be a team player, basically. It does seem like Cyborg would be that guy. He's kind of the more serious dude. He's not really cracking jokes. Seems to be more of an independent thinker.
Yeah, so it's just like, maybe he doesn't show up for that final battle till like in the end, when Alfred says like, oh, hope you're not too late. Like he chose to fight with his teammates.
So in that case, then it was Cyborg that got really fat and started stepping around
and just walking. Yeah. Well, he's like half metal. So
yeah,
I'm sure he's freaking heavy.
So I think I have a theory. The other person that could potentially be it would be Hawkeye, and Hawkeye makes an appearance. He got really fat.
Hawkeye?
Yeah, fat Hawkeye. And when he says they said you wouldn't make it, that's the actor. That's him saying, "Oh, I didn't know Jeremy Renner was going to be in here. They said he wasn't going to be in this movie."
We doing a Marvel movie? I guess, and that's why the fourth Avengers movie is untitled. Like the fourth one that comes, it's actually going to be Avengers and
Avengers versus
DC.
Justice League or something
versus
like that.
Justice League. Yeah.
Boom.
Dawn of Justice Avengers.
Dawn of
Part
Justice
2,
Avengers.
Infinity War.
Yeah, and it turns out Hawkeye becomes the key to it all, to them succeeding. He rouses them with his arrows and stuff. Yeah,
because he's just fighting out there with a bow and arrow.
He's just a guy with a bow and arrow, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
like
Justice League.
Yeah, I the other thing with the trailer also is the bad guy's revealed, right? Like we get shots of the bad guy. He's got an axe. What's his name?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Really? What is that?
He is the uncle of Darkseid.
Oh.
Yep, one of the heralds. So it's like Darkseid will be the big bad of Justice League Part 2. And so this is like his herald, basically.
So they got someone kind of like Darkseid.
They got someone whose powers are basically the same as Darkseid.
Oh, wow.
Super strong. Has an army of parademons, or what they're called.
Yeah.
He's going to come in
Steppenwolf?
and swoop over.
What does that mean?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. Like he's stepping around and he's a wolf?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
He's stepping and he's wolfing,
Stepping around?
Like everyone
around.
on Apocalypse.
Yeah. I can relate
That's
to
what they
that, I guess.
Yeah, everyone says, the reveal of Steppenwolf to terrorize these heroes. We'll see
so
what
the
happens.
next trailer... Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, when is this coming out again? Is it this year or next year?
November. It comes out the same month as
November.
Thor. So we're going to have kind of a... We'll see what if Justice League, I think, comes out first, and then a few weeks later we have Thor.
Sweet. So you're going to see this on release?
I am. I absolutely am. Even though I'm just like, I haven't just been excited about these trailers. All these trailers are just like they're good, and they're passable, but they don't really get me excited.
Yeah.
Something like Civil War, that trailer got me excited.
Yeah.
Other trailers get me excited. Justice League has not gotten me excited.
Yeah.
But hopefully that changes.
Definitely more excited for Thor Ragnarok right now. And I don't know, like I'm kind of on a streak where I haven't really been seeing DC movies because they've all been kind of crap. So if this one ends up being crap too, I might just not see it. But
yeah,
but I'll do it for the podcast. I'll do it for the podcast.
Do it for our fans out there. Everyone who's listening. Our fans. So the next trailer, I guess that we want to talk about the other big thing. We'll switch over to a more TV. I guess we can talk about the movie one. You want to talk about Ready Player One?
Yeah, let's talk about Ready Player One. Movie directed by Steven Spielberg, based off of a book.
Mm-hmm. I know nothing about it. I have not read the book.
I've read the book. I read it last year or a couple years ago, and it's really good. I think you'd like it a lot.
Please teach me.
So they don't really share much of the plot in the trailer, but the trailer looks pretty good. It's you probably get the gist of it. It's basically the world is kind of like a shanty town, and everyone, the missing millions or whatever, they hide away in this virtual reality world. It's got these gloves. It's got this like headset, and it's hooked up to like this little interface. And it's based off a book. I forgot the name of the author, but it's really fun. The plot is this: there's the guy who made the Oasis, which is the name of the virtual reality world. So he dies, and he when he dies, like a bunch of he basically sends out a bunch of videos of this. He says, "Hey, everyone in the Oasis, I'm dead, and I want to pass on my riches to a special someone." And this special someone, what they need to do is they need to find like 3 or 4 Easter eggs or something like that, and then they basically just need to like pass a series of puzzles or challenges to get these eggs. And once you have all the Easter eggs, then you get my treasure. And this kind of sparks like this worldwide race around the world trying to find what these Easter eggs are. And like I guess apparently in the videos that he sends out, there's like hints as to what and where these Easter eggs are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it follows the story of this one kid, and he's just a poor, down on his luck kid, and he's trying to find this treasure just like everyone else. But he's like really good at the game. And I guess the bad guys in this story is it's like this big corporation, and like they've got like millions of like thousands, if not millions of like employees, and they're all working on trying to get these eggs at the same time as everyone else. So they're kind of like this big an entity. They got more resources than anyone. And so basically, it's this little kid and everyone else versus like the man. The man being the big company with all the dudes. And the thing about the story is that there's a lot of pop culture references, like video games, movies, TV shows. If you saw the trailer, it's like the Iron Giants is in there.
Yeah, Iron Giant shows up
Iron
in
Giant's
there.
in there. Yeah, and then Freddy Krueger makes an appearance.
In the book or in the trailer?
In the trailer, he gets shot or something. Yeah,
weird.
Is it Freddy Krueger? Yeah, I think it was Freddy Krueger. But yeah, in the book too, there's a lot of references to just a bunch of stuff. Like if you're a nerd and you know pop culture stuff, you'll definitely enjoy it. It's really good.
So how does the trailer look like to capture the spirit of the book?
It looks good. It looks really good, actually. I think Steven Spielberg is a good director for this because the world, it's a virtual reality world where pretty much anything can happen. So the visuals have to be kind of very imaginative and kind of crazy. Yeah, the shantytown world looks pretty accurate. Him going into the back of like this van is accurate because like that's where he does all of his oasising is just the back of this van. Yeah, it looks really fun. The scene. Go ahead.
What I like about Steven Spielberg himself is like I always think he's a great director because he's like the original sense of wonder director. Like it's just like you can tell he loves filmmaking, and he's every time his all of his films like a nerdy sense of, ooh, what's happening over here? This is kind of cool. It's like, oh, what's that? And I'm follow the camera this way basically to see them. Like there's a sense of like wonder and just like a magical sense in his filmmaking and a lot of his more whimsical films. So I think if that from what you described, he does sound like a great director for this type of material.
Yeah,
it can make it really awesome.
Definitely. Like you said, yeah, very, very fantastical world that I think Steven Spielberg can accurately help bring to life. The only thing I'm worried about is, because it's all like virtual reality stuff, it's all pretty much going to be crazy looking things. So like if the CG is not good, it's not going to look good. If it's like obviously green screen and all that, but I have faith in Steven Spielberg. I think he's really experienced in this, and he's not going to make it look ridiculous. And that racing scene at the end of the trailer, I don't remember that in the book. But then again, I haven't seen it I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the book, and I haven't seen
the book. I don't know where the book is.
Yeah,
it's just gone.
I lost that book. But yeah, I haven't read it in a couple of years, so that could be something in there. But it looks like that might be like one of the challenges or something like that to finding one of these Easter eggs, and like that key at the very end. I'm pretty sure that's like one of the Easter eggs too. Is like unlocking
cool. Okay.
one of the things. I
was reading an article about like it's like it's not a direct. It's like they're not following the story structure like as faithfully.
Okay.
But like tonally and spiritually, it's like Steven Spielberg said. It's like they try to capture the essence of what the book was about and then translate it to screen. So we'll see if that's successful. If they'll actually do that.
Yeah, it looks good. I'd recommend reading the book if you got time. It's really cool. Or you could just watch the movie. It looks pretty good. I'm excited.
What I really like doing is I guess it's like I like knowing that a movie exists, and so like I can see all these characters like in my head about like the actors playing them and like the style of everything, and then reading the book without seeing the movie, but like just but still knowing like the movie exists. So then like I can put these faces to names like in the book and stuff, so I can see it in my mind, but not be tainted by either the movie or by the movie first.
Yeah, because that can get really confusing. Because like for me, when I read a book, everyone has the same face, so it's like what who. Oh, why are you talking to the person that looks just like you? There's like 5 people in this room. Now it gets really weird. I don't know, but yeah, I agree. And there's been some good I can only think of one. Well, recently, like good book to movie adaptation. And I think movies generally might be getting better at adapting books to movies, but I might be wrong. I mean,
it just depends
on
the book.
And there was Hunger Games, and there was what was that one? Ender's Game. Now that I think about it, maybe I guess it's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, it all depends on just like how much you want to pack in the material and how much you want to spend, and how much you want to adapt, and how much you want to forge your own path, and how much you want to make different.
Yeah.
I guess so. We'll see what happens for Ready Player One. I'm kind of excited. I mean, it's like I don't really know. Yeah, again, because I haven't read the book, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
I think I like Steven Spielberg. It looks fun.
Yeah,
I wasn't really sold before the trailer, but the trailer did really help sell me.
Yeah, another good book to movie adaptation was The Martian. That was really good.
Oh yeah,
I read The Martian. Have you read The Martian?
No, I read bits and pieces, but from what I read, I really liked. It's funny.
Yeah, it's really good, and yeah, the movie actually follows it pretty faithfully, and it's pretty good. What are some good book to movie adaptations? Like, what's your favorite book to movie adaptation?
Favorite book to movie that I've read, both. I like. it's like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo it's just, I like movies that can condense information really well, even if it doesn't follow it as accurate. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by David Fincher. He in the movie adaptation, it captured all the right moments, but it got made the connections a little bit faster because it's a mystery book, and there's a lot of clues to go through. But I thought that was very stylish. That was a good adaptation. I recently read the actual book Jurassic Park.
Oh,
and it's I'm amazed at the movie that they turned it into, because the movie is actually so much different than the book itself. So it's amazing, which is and directed by Steven Spielberg as well. So I wonder how different, if he's going to do the same thing he did with Jurassic Park and make it entirely different.
Super different, yeah. No, and I mean, it seems like he knows what he's doing. He knows what to keep and what to remove. So, yeah, I think when Steven Spielberg's got some good source material, he can make some really good stuff. I mean, let's see, he directed Saving Private Ryan, right?
Yeah, he did. He's an award for Saving Private Ryan, for Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all great source
Lincoln.
material. That's all good source material. World War II, great source material.
Great source material.
Abraham Lincoln, great source material.
Great source material.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs, great source material.
Amazing source material.
Yeah, you can do anything with dinosaurs.
Yeah, anything. Yeah,
anything. So that's ready. That's Ready Player One. Any other final wrap up on that trailer?
No, I'm really excited about it, and I guess we should talk about the other big trailer. This time we're moving into the territory of TV shows. Stranger Things 2 came out with a trailer, and
they did.
Yeah, what do you think?
It looks bigger than anything that came out. It looks more, just because I think the first one was such like a pop culture phenomenon, and word of mouth catch fire, it caught on and everyone was talking about it, that they just really invested heavily in a budget for season 2, because it looks more apocalyptic in that sense. But I thought it's really smart of them to be the way that they're going about this release now. They're making it kind of look a little spooky, a little scarier. They're setting it around Halloween. It's releasing on Halloween,
spooky.
And but we're still at the heart of it. That's still completely still that 80s nostalgia feel of just these 4 young kids who do things like go to the arcade and play video games. And they're just these true characters who are caught in these extraordinary circumstances. So I'll watch it. I didn't love Stranger Things as much as the internet did. Yeah, I mean I liked it. It was passable, but it's I didn't, after watching it, after every episode, I was I need to watch the next one. I think I was more watching it because the world was watching it.
Yeah, I love Stranger Things. I didn't get into it until well after it was done, but yeah, I just heard nothing but good things about it. And then when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is really good. It's spooky, and it's what's the mystery? Yeah. I like it. Definitely the first series, it seemed a little more subtle, a little more mysterious, and like you said, the second season seems like they're just ramping all that stuff up, and they've got that thriller music in the background, so it's still that's still grounded in the 80s.
Thriller, yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but the arcade sign, I'm pretty sure that arcade sign is a CG arcade sign.
I did not notice that.
I think maybe just watch it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks fake. To me, it's like that can't.
And you're calling BS on that. You're
BS.
wait, why do you have a fake?
BS on that arcade sign.
They spent all their money on just absolutely everything else, on Will's apocalyptic visions.
Yeah.
It looks like the arc of the season. Will's cracking. He's still, as we remember in the way the first season ended, he came back from the upside down.
Yeah.
But he still seemed a little infected by whatever the evil was that was over there.
Yeah.
And now he's showing signs of not being okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Will actually in the series. I want to see him as a real character, as opposed to kind of being kind of MacGuffin-ish, the dude that everyone has to try and rescue. So it'll be fun to see him actually in the real world, and what his role will be. I feel like he might be moving more into main character territory, which is good. I think he might be taking more of a lead, and yeah, maybe we'll learn more about the mystery of this. What did they call it? A name in the last season? I forgot. It's
the Upside Down?
Yeah, the Upside Down. We'll learn more about the Upside Down. Hey, maybe we'll learn about the sheriff's daughter. Oh, what's up with that?
Oh, what up with that? Yeah, we have the sheriff's daughter. I don't remember the sheriff had a daughter. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's hinted at in the first season. It's like one of his things. That's why he wants to look for for Will is because like he kind of
Oh,
sympathizes
yeah.
with the mother. He's like, yeah, I had a kid, and you know, she went missing as
I
well.
remember
So
that.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I think his kid went missing. I think his kid went missing because it was in relation to the same reason that Will went missing. Like there was some you know, that weird science facility.
Yeah.
I think it's connected to that.
I'm excited for all these characters. All these characters left off, I think, in pretty interesting places. I think the sheriff, the actor David Harbour. So we're gonna see the deal that he made in order to kind of sweep everything under the rug.
Oh, that's right.
But we know that he's off. But he seems like he knows something that the kids don't, because I think it ended with him going off into the forest and leaving a pack of Egos. Of course, for 11, there was the great. It wasn't so much of a love triangle as it kind of was a love triangle between Will's sister.
Yeah.
Not Will's sister. The other sister and her. The jockey kind of
jockey
boyfriend,
dude, and then the
Charlie, I believe his name
kind of
was.
awkward dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked how that story resolved, because like it didn't make the jockey boyfriend like really a bad dude. Like he really was not.
Yeah.
He was kind of a nice guy in the sense that he wanted to help, and he did at the end, and they're still together. Winona Ryder is going to be nice to see her play a character not like obsessed, because like when we started that series, we saw her just crazy over missing her son. So we didn't know much about her. Besides, we didn't have like a normal level for her. We only had manic and crazy, but so we're going to see her more with motherhood. And then of course the trailer ends with the return of 11, who's like in the Upside Down, who looks like in the same to be, she was automatically transported to the other side, and she's in the classroom where she vanished the Demogorgon, and now she's trying to break free. And what's going to happen now?
Yeah, it looks like she just comes right back into the story. I mean, because it seems like she's in the Phantom Zone, the Upside Down, whatever, and then she immediately finds a gooey wall, and then that gooey wall is like she goes through it, and it's just the
crossing over.
Yeah, and it's just a school like where they were.
But
at.
It's odd because it looked like, 'cause if I remember correctly, the first season ended on a time jump. Like it jumped ahead a good chunk of time. To show Will back into the real world and associate with everything. So we'll see how they handle that. Maybe 11's captured almost like right away, and the sheriff is kind of either helping or hindering her, depending on the deal that he made for them with the shady government, for them to get away. Either way, we'll just have to see. Stranger Things. I'm gonna give it just like an 8 out of 10 on probably not, like a 6 out of 10 on excitement scale, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I do want to see it, but yeah, I'm not like super pumped about it. It is kind of like more of a low key show, so I kind of like that though. I want a show where it's kind of like not super hyped, but it's still a really great show to watch. When you've got time. And,
I think the only thing that was truly overhyped about that show was Barb.
Oh yeah, Barb hype.
Barb hype. Justice for
Barb.
Which is like, it's like, bro, she's like not even important. Like if you go into that show, like if you're hearing all this hype for Barb and how like Barb needs justice, and Barb's like a fan favorite, and Barb got nominated for an Emmy for guest performance.
Did she really?
Yeah, for like, it's not like supporting actor, it's like guest performance.
Oh, that's
it's like
funny.
One step below. But it's like, and if you go and watch it, you'll notice just like how little Barb matters, and how little Barb like. She's not a bad actress, but since it's not like her material warrants any.
Yeah, it's just a joke. It's a meme or something. Yeah, I think the only reason she got that award was probably because of all the attention that she got from all the
absolutely.
internets.
It's not an earned like actress thing, which again, it's like not a knock on the actress. She's a good actress. It's just like the role itself is boring. Like Barb does nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll make an appearance though. Barb hype.
Barb hype.
Holding
She'll
out
be,
for
like,
that
leading.
Barb.
Yeah, Barb will say like, "Welcome to the episode." Barb will be like 11's guide, and she'll like run the Upside Down now or something, just cause.
I actually love that. What if she's a Demogorgon? What if the Demogorgon ate her, and then she became stronger in the Demogorgon and like busted out and like controlled the Demogorgon? Oh, amazing!
And then like, oh my god, I just want the show and then all of a sudden this spins off. This Barb gets her own spin off. It's like it's just focused on Barb and, like,
things.
everyday life. Barb life.
Barbara things. Stranger Barb.
Stranger Barbs.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I'm ready to watch it.
All right. Yeah, that's like I would say the biggest trailer out of the one that's most interesting to talk about. That about wraps up, I guess, all of our trailers to discuss. But I guess we'll switch over now to a movie that we both saw that we kind of want to talk about. It is Caesar's ending trilogy story of the new Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Yeah.
This one is titled War for the Planet of the Apes. War. Hooah. And came out, it's a little bit ago.
Absolutely
what is
nothing.
it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. So War of the Planet of the Apes. You saw it today.
Yeah, I just saw it today. I really liked the first two movies. I think they were really solid. Kind of movies I didn't really expect to be that good. Like, didn't even know it was going to be a trilogy. And I'm just, I like Caesar as a character. Andy Serkis, great performer. And the visuals for the apes are just amazing to me. I think they look
God,
awesome. They look great. I don't know if it'll age well. I think it will age well because of just how detailed it is. But yeah. But anyways, this movie though, I give it a 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5.
Ooh,
do not
1 out of 5.
like it and will not watch it again.
I didn't like it either.
Yeah.
I thought
Why
I
didn't you
didn't
like
know which type of movies that it like wanted to be. Like it first starts off, the first act is like this, is you think it's going to be like this vengeance tale, and it's like a road warrior type flick where like he takes his 4 recognizable monkey friends
Yeah.
to like travel across the northern lake to kill this guy, and that's like the first act of the movie. But the second act, it has to do with him being captured and having to be a leader to the people, but like barely, and then having to escape from jail, but like that doesn't matter because humans attack. And then like ultimately, they don't really matter to the story. I don't think there's a much better movie inside War of the Planet of the Apes somewhere that they easily could have done, but they did not.
Yeah, and spoiler alert for all this stuff, by the way. You want to just jump into spoilers? Yeah. So
yeah, we'll jump into spoilers. Spoiler alert from
Spoiler
here on
alert.
out for War of the Planet of the Apes.
yeah, so I think Act 1 was really strong, actually. I was really on board for Act 1. I think I just love that that little battle scene in the beginning between the apes and the humans. I think that was awesome. That was a good way to open it up.
Fantastic.
Because it was like,
I was like, this movie's going to be great.
Yeah, because like, this is a war for the Planet of the Apes. And I was on board with that. I thought it was going to be a really all-out brawl between the apes and the humans, which they did in the last movie at the end. But I mean, I was like, I'm down for another one of those. Maybe bigger scale, see what happens.
Yeah.
And then like you said, it kind of became like a road trip movie. Like he brings his ape buddies and they go on the road trip to kill what's his name?
The Colonel.
The Colonel, but like the actor Woody Harrelson. Yeah. And I was on board with that too. I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm down for like a more grounded story with just these 4 characters, because we've gotten to know them more in these last 3 movies. I think it's time to give them some more time, some more screen time, and just see what they're like. And then I think, to me, the movie really falls apart in the second act. As soon as they get to the enemy camp, I think is when it's when things kind of lose its edge. I think like
Absolutely.
the gorilla guy, he just dies.
Yeah, like it's like he gave his life for his cause. Like, you fought one guy and that one guy killed you.
Yeah.
Like, you guys aren't doing very well here.
He just got stabbed by a bayonet, and then there's just the scene just before that, the gorilla puts the flower in the girl's hair, and she's like, oh, that's cute. And then the very next scene, he dies, and then the girl puts the flower back on the gorilla's head. It's like there was no space to breathe there. It was like back to back. Like, oh, they share a moment, then they share their moment again. It's like, I don't know. I think you kind of expect those moments to be farther apart.
But even I hate it. Just like her bringing this mute girl along, which is like, so they show up at this camp and they kill this guy who I would say is either the girl's father or the girl's protector, but the girl doesn't seem to care that they just murdered this dude. And it's like, no, I'm going to go with these monkeys to the harsh north cold because I'm a little girl and can survive this, but I can't speak, so I can't really promote it. But she's fine with going with them because one of them gives her a stuffed animal and the other one gives her a flower, and they're just like, okay, we're family. I'm an ape. Like, no, you don't want to be an ape.
Yeah. I was really confused about that too, because in the movie it stated that like the humans are getting this disease that's kind of reverting them back to their primal form. But like
Yeah.
going back to their primal form, does that mean you lose any sense of family or connection or memory? Because does she know? She knows.
Seems like she doesn't care.
Yeah, like she knows that's her dad, right? I mean, she has a connection with these apes. Why not still have a connection with her father? It's like, I don't know. That's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and here was I'm imagining the writer's room for War of the Planet of the Apes. It's like we're gonna have a first movie, the first act of the movie. It's like really hardcore, really really vengeance. We have Caesar giving in to his dark impulses and going off to kill this man, even if it means leaving his ape family behind. And he's on this trek, and he's bringing his buddies with him, and they're gonna rain hell. And like the producers are just like, okay, that's cool, but you
what
guys
if?
remember this is a movie about talking monkeys, right? Like,
Yeah.
So like, what if there's like another monkey that they meet, and
my
like
God.
he's funny,
Yes.
and
yes.
we name him Bad Ape, and then he wears funky clothes.
Yeah,
And
that was such a weird decision because, like, up to this, because this is the third movie in the trilogy, and there was never really a humorous aspect to any of the movies. Like, there were some light and touching moments and stuff, but never really like a character or a moment where it's like a sort of ha or like a slapstick moment or something like that. But yeah, they just, I feel like they just kind of shoehorned this weird monkey in, who just right off the bat is kind of annoying. Like that voice. Is he played by someone? I feel like that voice
Alan
is
Tudyk.
Alan
Tudyk.
That's Alan Tudyk. Oh man, I'm sorry, Alan Tudyk, but yeah, I think that character was just bizarre. Like it just seems so out of place.
Such an odd choice. He didn't do and contribute a whole lot to the story besides being supposedly funny, and that leads to just like the next like worst part. Because then the movie just got like worse from here. Because then when like Caesar's in, and then Caesar gets captured like almost immediately, so his job does nothing.
What happened there? I thought Caesar was supposed to be good at this monkey thing, this monkey business.
And he's captured almost immediately, and like all his purposes is like talk to the colonel, and then the monkeys turn on him. But then like it's in the most, I laughed out loud in the theater in the scene when it's like when Caesar goes to work and like all the monkeys have turned against him, and they're building this wall for them, and then the one monkey falls, and like the other guy comes and is like whipping the monkey, and like Caesar's just like stop, and like all the other monkeys are just like, oh yeah,
yes,
and they like start like hooting. It's
that's
like,
my
one thing.
Yeah,
and he won them back over. Like, those monkeys are still dumb.
That's my one of my biggest problems with when they get to the camp is I feel like there's a lot of like unearned moments, like right away. Like I said, when the gorilla dies, I feel like that's an unearned moment because it's just kind of like came out of nowhere. I thought this guy was supposed to be around for a little bit longer, but apparently not. And there's supposed to be like this emotional scene where he dies, but I just feel like there wasn't enough time building up that connection. And then just like you said, when they're in the prison, Caesar just says 2 words, and all the monkeys are like, yeah, we're loyal to you again. Yeah, even though just yesterday we hated you, didn't even look at you, but now we're on board. We're on board again. And that's all he really needed? Really? Just to say those 2 words? Okay.
And then instead of killing, like the colonel, instead of killing Caesar, the guy who instigated this rebellion, the one who, you can kill and turn a lesson and break these monkeys to show that you have no leader, you kill the random monkey instead.
And that's the weird thing. I'm so confused.
It's like, let that be a lesson
because
what?
Because Woody Harrelson, he went into the cave, he rappelled down there, and he was trying to kill Caesar, but he ended up killing Caesar's wife and his son. So if you were Woody Harrelson and you found out that you didn't kill the right guy, and then the right guy comes into you, like just waltzes in, wouldn't you just be like,
kill him immediately?
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I didn't kill you? Boom, you're dead now.
Yeah.
Well, why does he keep
easy.
him around? I don't get it. What are you doing?
And then it's like, oh my, and I hate it. Just, I guess it's like jumping around like all this stupid stuff. But it's like when Caesar does arrive and sees all of his monkey family get captured, it's like, how did they beat them there? Like,
seriously.
When did they get captured and transported up north and enslaved for a certain period of time and go through this whole thing? It's like, you were kind of on the same page. How did you not see this happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things with the movie. And then I guess we can also talk about the villain, Woody Harrelson. I think he's kind of the stereotypically evil douche villain, and they tried to add the layer of dimension to him. There's that scene when he's just talking to Caesar and he's like, you think I'm not merciful? You don't know mercy. I killed my own son so that like everyone else would be safe. But it's like, I feel like that there's other solutions, like in the real world, when people have like a deadly virus, I don't think you just kill them immediately. I think they
You wait a bit. Yeah.
yeah, they have the resources, don't they? They have all these military resources, so I don't see why they wouldn't have sort of the resources or the equipment to just kind of like quarantine them at least, and like maybe study the effects of the disease. I don't know. It just seems a little weird to
They
me.
gave him it's because they were trying to put him on a track parallel to Caesar. Because I guess like the theme of this movie was trying to be like mercy. I guess. It's like Caesar was like later he was coming to kill the colonel. But the colonel is a ruthless man who would kill anybody except for Caesar. But to kill anybody in his path. And go about that. But it's like, I guess the one aspect I liked is that, but it's like, I like the aspect, but it also was a double-edged sword because they couldn't explore it enough, was the fact that the colonel was fighting other humans because he was like a radical. He was, because it looked like those other humans that we're talking about, like, didn't want to kill, people. That they recognized that he was kind of crazy. So like, he was like in the middle of both the monkeys and the regular humans. But God, it was just so poorly put together.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
He doesn't. Colonel Woody Harrelson doesn't have control over his base because then like the monkeys implement like the easiest breakout attempt in history.
Like what was up with that? So
this is a base guarded by soldiers.
Yeah,
like if we walk through this plan,
right. So the plan is that they're gonna have a hole in the middle of the cell, and then they're all just gonna escape through the hole. But first, they got to get the kids out, and so.
Even before that, even if we talk about like the first element of the plan, it's like the little girl just kind of walking into the base.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
First of all, because like these three monkeys are hiding behind one rock that is just like barely outside the base, and the little girl just walks up, like strolls in.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And, like, sees, and then has a few scenes of going back and forth between cells.
She spends like a half an hour in there. What the fuck?
And then she walks out, and then the line that I hated more than anything, it's like then she leaves because like Caesar has her hide. Is like the colonel's just like sweep the area, find out anything, like sweep the area outside because the other monkey walked in to like save her.
Uh-huh.
And like to cause the distraction, and then instead of killing him right away, they beat him up and they throw him into the cell. And then like Colonel's like sweep the area, but it's like if you sweep the area, if you walk 20 feet north of the wall, you're gonna find those two other people.
It was
so the soldiers are horrible at their jobs.
It was ridiculous because she walks in through like a gap in the wall that they're making. Why aren't there people on the wall? I think there should be people on the wall, and if not the wall, then like definitely they have like 4 or 5 like guard towers that supposedly are manned by 1 or 2 people, so maybe like and there's lights everywhere too. There's like searchlights that they seem to always miss where the people are actually at. Like they're like scanning, but like I bet
even though it looks like
I bet if you saw it, it would be like
the
searchlight would kind of like move up to where the girl is and then deliberately move around it and then keep on going.
It's like it's clear.
Yeah,
it's clear.
Yeah, definitely clear. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Then they find that because like, at first it deals with them finding, and after that they find the hidden underground pipe system.
Yeah, super convenient, by the way. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's just there. But then what I don't understand, I guess we can get into it, because like when it starts flooding, I don't know how that relates to the story.
Yeah, I guess it was just like a thing that they added in just to add tension to the scene, because...
And then they just closed the door.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it's flooding, gotta close the door. But I guess it was because like that place where it was flooding was originally where they were going to dig upwards to the children's pen. So instead of like going, doing what they did on both ends the same way, they had to release the children from the surface and then lead them into the pen with a hole. And so that's all.
And
that's
all
fine.
It takes was distracting one guard.
Yeah, seriously. And did they throw shit at the guy? Was it mud or was it shit? It was just poop,
It
right?
was shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So they threw
and
shit
they
at the
did
guy.
And it's like, okay, and he's definitely going to come down here alone.
Yes.
By himself, not alert anybody. Like really, the smart thing to do is, or just first of all, 1, ignore it. 2, hey, these monkeys are being crazy. Come with me. I need backup.
Yeah, or tell someone like, hey, Colonel, they just threw shit at me. I think they're really crafty and smart. I think I'm gonna go check it out just to let you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, so these pens are surrounded by these guard towers I talked about earlier, and so why isn't anyone looking at the big pen?
The monkeys.
The monkeys. There's a big hole. Like the hole, it starts out really small, but from what I saw, it looks like they dug like a big portion of it out so that it was easier for them to like go into or something. And
do they dig through concrete? Like,
seriously,
is it just dirt that's like making these tunnels? Like it's just like that leads up.
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh my god, it's dumb.
Yeah, and the guy that went into the cell, like, is he not? I mean, I know he's a soldier, but is he not at least terrified or suspicious of these monkeys? Like, I would not go into a
cell with
cell
like 100 monkeys.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to a cell with 100 normal monkeys, let alone 100 monkeys that have like super intelligence that can like fucking rip you to pieces. Like, what's wrong with you, man? Like,
Yeah.
that guy's got balls of steel, or he's a retard, and who knows? Probably both. I don't know.
Probably both. But it's just
Yeah.
it's just the worst. And then it's like what makes me so mad because then like then Caesar gets out. It's like I have to go because as soon as the monkeys escape, that's when the other humans attack. Like they arrive and they start bombing and missiling everything.
Yeah.
And then Caesar has to go like and tries to kill the colonel, but like the colonel's sick because he got infected by the doll, so he doesn't really have to do anything. Colonel kills himself, and he actually escape. Which is dumb. Like if I was making this movie, like that prison break scene is basically pointless. Like you could have saved so much time, and created a better story if Caesar or if the humans' missiles are what breaks the monkeys out.
Yeah,
right?
and then
creates a wall and pandemonium.
Yeah, you get monkeys versus humans. You get the war, and that's the thing is, so when I came into this movie, I was expecting like this epic finale, this epic war, but what we ended up getting was like most of the movie was a prison breakout scene, and which
was dumb.
Yeah, which is dumb, and so dumb for two reasons. Yeah, dumb for the first reason being, I thought it was gonna be kind of like a war movie. No, it's a prison breakout movie. Second reason is they already did this in the last movie. In the last movie, there was a prison breakout as well, and they spent like 5 minutes on that, and it was fine. It was actually, and they did it kind of like in a clever way as well. It's weird. They had the war scene and the prison breakout scene in the last movie, and I just felt like they did that. They handled that way better in the second movie than they did in this one, and I think they just spent all their time and attention on the wrong thing. The wrong thing being the prison breakout, which is the whole second
just
act.
because it buries the theme of which I guess what they're trying to do. It's just like that humans are bad, right? Like the humanity is not merciful anymore, which you get and they're because the monkeys are really irrelevant to the story. Like imagine if the monkeys didn't show up, like and they weren't there at all, then it would have happened the same way. The soldiers would have showed up to the wall, started bombing everything, big war broke out, and then an avalanche would have came and swept all those guys dead.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's
really the monkeys had no impact on the course of events there because, and even Woody Harrelson. This is another thing that I had a problem with was so Woody Harrelson at the time when you want him to be his most badass. Like if you think about it, Woody Harrelson didn't do shit in this movie. He killed he kills a wife and child in the beginning, and you don't really see him do anything else other than be a dick and wear shades and like talk about mercy and stuff. And so in the end, he just kind of is incapacitated during the fight where you think you need him the most, and he has that disease. And here's the other thing too: is when Caesar goes up to him and he wants to have revenge on him, and he realizes that he can't speak anymore or anything like that, and then he decides to not do it. So my question is this: if Woody Harrelson didn't have that disease, because then would Caesar like not have killed him? Does that mean that Caesar only had mercy on Woody Harrelson because he had a disease?
Sick guy?
Yeah, like if
I don't know.
I thought the whole point of that scene was that like, oh, Caesar's not like Koba. Like he can let go of his hate and he can like show mercy still. But I feel like he only did that because the guy couldn't fight back. Like if he could fight back, would he just executed him? Because it really seemed like he was going to do that, and just went against it just because he was sick. And I don't know. It's I feel like it kind of takes away from his decision.
Yeah, it does. Everything. It's just this movie's so dumb. Like I really did not like it, which is sad. I don't. It's like it's hard to even. I can't. I'm trying to narrow down like what the movie was trying to say, but it's like I can't figure it out just because there was so much stuff going on that wasn't fulfilled.
Exactly.
Because there is some precedence for this because like if these are leading into the original Planet of the Apes movies, from like the 1950s and stuff, or older than that, 1980s. There is a disease. It's like all the humans are de-evolved basically, and these mute kind of dumbelings basically. Mm-hmm. They're like the monkeys of the world in the original movies. So it's like it seems like they were trying to bring that in to kind of come full circle to explain why humans de-evolve in the future.
Yeah.
But
so you think they're gonna make remakes of those movies?
I have no idea. I guess it depends how much this one does.
Yeah.
Like, because then like they could, and which was stupid. Like after Caesar leads them out, and then Caesar dies after he leads them to his oasis. He's like, "Remember what Caesar did for them." We'll remember what Caesar did. Like, you did shit, Caesar.
Yeah, I feel like he was like in this movie. Yeah, he wasn't as cool as the other two movies, but like even before that, like when they escaped and the humans came in and they were like, yeah, we won. I think that was kind of just such a terrible cop out that like the avalanche came and just wiped it all away and all the monkeys survived. It was like, okay, so everything went
That was easy.
exactly as planned. Yeah, like things went in our favor for no reason at all. And I was thinking, like, in the back of my head, I was like, oh, like, so you see them climbing the trees, and then the avalanche, you see, like, fucking up all these trees when Caesar's trying to climb them. So I'm like, oh no, is this the end of the apes? Because, like, they climbed the trees and that was a bad idea?
Yeah, but no, it's just, I guess the monkeys are stronger and more superior to the environment because they can climb trees.
Yeah. But
when I thought we were going for a twist because it like seems so weird when there's like these thousands of soldiers, right? Like who like they're like these faceless soldiers because they're all dressed in like winter parka and stuff, and they slowly turn around and like see Caesar before the avalanche comes, and because like they're all wearing masks for like a split second, I was thinking they're gonna pull off their masks and they're all gonna be apes or something like that. Like it's gonna be like
they were apes
like
the whole
really
time.
Weird. They were apes the whole time. Like the apes are more evolved.
They were flying helicopters and shit.
And stuff like missiles and stuff. Like I don't.
That's pretty funny. I think I wish that would have happened. That would have been very
guys.
interesting.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a movie where it's like it's these three elements of power. There's Caesar, there's the Colonel, and then there's whoever the leader of the other humans are. And it's like all three of them kind of navigating one another to like figure out, and to who's more superior and who's right in this sense. That's the movie I want to see. That's not the movie we got, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it looks gorgeous.
It was
Again,
really
CGI, just very pretty.
It looked amazing. And like I said, I liked the first two movies, so I was hoping for a really good ending to this trilogy. But I was kind of sad and kind of a weak ending for Caesar, in my opinion, because basically how Caesar goes is they go to the Oasis and like the arrow wound that he got from supposedly days or even weeks earlier now decides to give in.
Travel.
Yeah, just now it just starts bleeding. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm dead now. It's like, oh. And like,
but he had to be the Messiah.
Yeah.
He had to lead his people.
And the way he died too was kind of funny in a way, because basically he just starts slowly slumping over, and like and like when it's just him and Maurice there.
It's like it's so dumb. Yeah, it's like
and then he slowly slumps over, and then Maurice is like stroking his leg or something, and it's just like, what a weird way to go, like for this huge character in this series. But well, I don't know.
Yep.
That sucks.
I give it one out of 5 stars.
1 out of
Blazes
5.
As well. 1 out of 5.
One blaze out of 5 blazets.
Yep. Hopefully there's another movie. I hope this director, Matt Reeves, the director who did, he looks like he directed the second movie, which was awesome. The second movie I thought was great. Yeah, and he directed this movie too, which was like the direction I thought of, as you said, like that opening battle scene was awesome. Because this is the guy who's directing the new Batman movie, like the solo Batman movie.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think he's going to direct it really well, but I just hope, he crafts a good story.
I hope it's more Rise of the Planet of the Apes than War of the Planet of the Apes. So.
Me too.
Yeah, well, I guess that about wraps it up. Is there anything else you want to add, Kobe?
I don't think so. I think this was solid. Thanks everyone for listening. If you want, you can check out our website, nerdblaze.com, where we have some reviews and articles and other cool stuff coming your way. You can check us out on Twitter at the Nerdblaze, or you can find us on Facebook at Nerdblaze. Anything else, Jeff?
No. That's all.
All right.
Thanks so much for listening.
We'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.